Hey everybody, this is a very special day, of course. We are wrapping up, of course, 4 years of Hex.com, amazing. And of course, Richard Hart, the founder, and he had some incredible devs. So we're going to talk about all that. So congratulations to all of you Hexkins out there on the Hex 4th year anniversary birthday. Amazing. It's leading us into year 5, of course, which we're about to start very soon in about maybe an hour or something. So it's going to be pretty amazing. So 4 years, incredible. The Hex just keeps going. We've been up against a lot of challenges through the years, but Hex has continued to persevere, and the community has been incredible. And of course, we're about to enter a new bull market as Bitcoin is heading to 40,000 US dollars. We've got Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs coming up in January and March, respectively, and the crypto is starting to pump. So the bear market has really wound down. The bull market is just winding up. It is very exciting. So we're going to be talking about some cool stuff around that. So before we do though, let's say hello to everybody. We've got a little birthday coverage at the beginning. Then we get into our usual coverage of Pulsechain and of course all the cool things happening amongst some of the project teams. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to have a very big interview coming up next week. You don't want to miss that, and maybe even a couple. So it's going to be very exciting as we do quite a few interviews. I typically don't do a lot of interviews on this channel, but we'll be having a couple of big ones coming up. So stay tuned for all that. Elias Beneath the House, how are you today? Very good, of course. The ultimate strategy, Hex, EX, PLS, PLSX, and the Center for the 100%, the gold and crypto strategy on this channel from Richard Hart. Absolutely. We've got Sandy Beach in the house. Hey, Sandy, welcome to the chat. Sandy always crushing it out there. Archie as well. Hi, all. Good to see Archie. Welcome to the chat also. It looks like somebody I was just talking to recently was called Archie. That's pretty funny. What a coincidence. Is that a coincidence or was that actually Archie? Who knows? Big shout out from Sandy Beach to everybody. And Hexcavators in the house there. Hey, gang. Hey, Hexcavator. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat as well. Who else has jumped in here? We've got Charity Dunning. Hi, everybody who staked their loan token. Yeah, let us know in the chat there if you staked your loan token. I think we did a poll on that yesterday, Charity. I forgot to talk about it at the end, but I did close the poll. So the results are sitting on yesterday's live stream under the chat. So definitely worth getting into. Harry Williams, yo. We will be covering liquid loans. We're going to be talking about that later on. So that's one of our project updates. Harry Williams, yo. Good to see you, Harry. Who else there? Brian, happy birthday, folks. Happy birthday, Hex. Absolutely. Brian is our community leader in our Discord. Absolutely incredible. Onboarded over 100 people to Hex and is an incredible teacher and mentor. So big shout out to Brian. J-Pon in house. Hey, J-Pon. Woohoo! Get excited. That's what we say. Pulsedemic as well. Good morning, Superman. You all staked them loan tokens. Yeah, well, loan just launched and it's been very successful. We're going to be talking about liquid loans and how impactful it's been already in the, was it the second day? Chilly, Arizona. That seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Arizona being chilly. I guess it does in the evening and maybe during the winter, I guess. Christian's in the house there, the DJ and King. Yo. Good to see you, Christian. And Jay Pon is here. G'day. Brendan as well, a TA expert. Woo! Happy birthday, Hexkins. Good stuff. Now, we're going to try and queue up a live stream next week with Brendan to look at the charts for Pulsechain. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. Magnus is in the house there. Hey, folks. Good to see you, Magnus. And a big hi from Jay Pon. Morning, Superman. Who else has jumped in here? Yo, B-Master. I don't know who's B-Master. Is that Brian? It must be Brian. Ryan Torres in the house there. What's that? 51 million. What is that? 51 million. Let me know what that is. I'm just not trying to think off the top of my head. What's the 51 million? Are you talking about Bitcoin target? Bitcoin target? Yeah, maybe 51 million. Who knows? Adam Chadwick, happy birthday, Hex. Absolutely, Adam. Happy birthday to Hex. 4th year. 4 years. 4 fingers. Yeah, I think that's 4 years. It's been a little chilly here. Had to wear socks today, says Brian. That's pretty funny. All right. I think that's it. Let's get into it. Let's get into the 4th year birthday for Hex. If you are watching this after the live stream, leave a nice comment about Hex that you've maybe leave a highlight about Hex in the last 4 years that's been really good for you. Let us know in the chat too. If you've got a highlight around the last 4 years of Hex, let us know, particularly the last year maybe. Get your highlight that you've enjoyed so far. We're going to get into a summary of all that. So let's get into it without further ado. Let's go. So Hex.com is where it's all began. And of course, Hex there, you can find all the details around Hex. Hex is a mining CD. So basically you buy Hex, and of course you can then what we call burn the Hex for some T shares. T shares stands for trillions of shares. And T shares enables you to start mining more Hex. You put T shares is really what we call the ownership pool, and the ownership pool gets to earn rewards every single day. So the reward pool and an ownership pool, and that's pretty how simple Hex is. Now, the way you get more Hex is longer pays better, up to 20% more per year, up to 10 years, which is 200% more shares. And of course, that's the way, if you got more of the ownership pool, you get more of the reward pool. And of course, the other one is longer pays better, up to 150 million Hex, that you can get up to 10% extra bonus there. So it's pretty important as well. Now, some of the secret sauce around Hex is its share rate. That is some of the secret sauce. Some people say Nobel Prize worthy, reflects compound interest, and was a real game changer in crypto back at the end of 2019. And so that's pretty bullish too. So that keeps going up against you to reflect compound interest, so that people short term can't outdo people long term when they're doing their CD miner ladders. And of course, that is a pretty powerful mechanism in the system. So it kind of makes it fair too for people coming in at any particular point in time. So it's kind of good like that. Now, we've got some highlights, of course, around that. So before we get into the highlights, we're going to get into Richard Hart. Richard Hart tweeted out on Hex 4th birthday. Hex turns 4 years old today. 4 years of perfect, flawless operation, 100% uptime, unstoppable, immutable code on a public open source peer-to-peer network. Hundreds of crypto things failed and billions of dollars were lost, while Hex continues to operate flawlessly. Congrats, everybody. Now, obviously, Hex has been operating on Ethereum, and now it's operating on 4 chains. Of course, Pulsechain being the main one now, and of course, also Ethereum Power and Ethereum Fear. So the Hex is on all those. So pretty cool. Here is one of the Hex influencers here. I think it's Avida, if I remember rightly here. So Hex.com, flawless operation, and got a little Hex cake there, which is kind of cool there as well. The other one, of course, is he's posted yesterday's price pump from Liquid Loans. And of course, we got all double-digit gains there amongst Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex, and of course, PHEX there at the bottom. So that was pretty cool. So some nice little shout out from Richard Hart, the founder. Of course, there were lots of big, smart people in his team that helped make Hex possible. And of course, one of those was Dev Kyle, as many of you may know, and particularly around the share rate, which is really part of the magic sauce of the Hex miner. Used to, of course, a CD miner, certificate of deposit miner, and really it is not like any normal bank certificate deposit. It really is supercharged with the tokenomics and DeFi revolution from a crypto that you can only get in crypto, the best performing asset class. So it's pretty amazing. Now, in terms of where Hex is at the moment, we're going to be talking about that. Before we do, though, let's flashback. Let's go back 4 years ago to the very beginning on the 2nd of 19, and this video is taken from about the 3rd of December, if I remember rightly. So pretty crazy. Let's see what the launch was and the excitement from Richard Hart was back then. So we're going to play a little snippet of this, and then at the end of the live stream, I'm going to play the full thing, and people can watch the full thing. It's just a summary video, but we're going to play just a couple of seconds here.
Hello, everybody. I've waited a very long time for this day. It's finally come. I'm very happy. So let's talk about what happened. We've had the contract done, the code that makes Hex what it is, for a good long while. And we just wanted to make sure absolutely everything was right. So we got 2 independent audits from 2 different auditors. We got a mathematics audit. That's 3 audits. They're expensive and they're time consuming. And they do 2 things. They, 1, convince you that there's no bugs. And 2, they present that evidence to the audience in a format that they can understand. So if you look on hex.win right now, down under the security tab, you can see how to use hardware wallets with MetaMask, which is the wallet that we suggest for Hex. And you'll also see the mathematics audit and one of the security audits. Now, touch-up needs to be done on this. They need to be super duper finalized and prettied up. We'll get there. Since the bug finding phase is over, no reason to delay. What else? So the contract was supposed to launch at 7 p.m. EST. And I think we're 5 hours late. I'm not even sure how many hours late. And what that's going to do is it's going to make this first day, the adoption amplifier, where people send Ethereum in and it gets transformed into Hex, it's going to make it a little shorter. It's not actually going to have any effect after this day. So, actually I could look at the wallet. I've got the wallet in the browser here. Wrong computer, streaming computer. I don't have the wallet. I don't have the browser here. So if you go to hex.win right now, or if you want a 10% bonus, pumpamentals.com, you can click anyone's ref link. It's going to give you that same bonus. There's nothing special about pumpamentals.com. It's just the one that I talk about a lot. You could go to anybody else's. You'll still get the same 10% bonus. It works on the adoption amplifier where you transform ETH into Hex, and it also.
All right, so that's a little bit of a teaser about the launch of Hex back 4 years ago, and I'm going to play the rest of that video. You can watch. It's pretty much a summary video, but that was the Richard was pretty tired. They'd been working full on to launch the Hex contract, and man, what a great job it was. And of course, the Hex AA lobby started. 350 days of that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. The first day, of course, people FOMO'd in. They couldn't help themselves. If I remember rightly, it was, I think it may have been like 21,000 ETH or something. It was pretty big, but everyone FOMO'd in. It was like 1 billion Hex up for grabs, and yeah, it was pretty hilarious. So it was good times, and people had a great time with it. It was pretty revolutionary at the time, and people have been backing Richard for well over a year or so, maybe 18 months on that one. So it was pretty cool. Now, I think it's kind of neat, and of course, people were able to get credits for their Bitcoin, all sorts of stuff for that, and I think it was something like 9.5 million of the Bitcoin was eligible for getting some Hex free Hex credits, so it was pretty neat. Right, so that was kind of cool stuff there, and of course, now we are back today, and of course, we got some highlights about what has happened with Hex, so let's quickly look at those. So we got 330,000 holders of Hex, so holding liquid Hex. There can be all sorts of accounts that are holding it. We got 100 to 125,000 miners mining Hex. So 125,000 on Pulsechain, 120,000 on the Ethereum side, which is the Ethereum original chain, of course. 65 million Hex per day people are getting. Share, that's the reward pool. So got 65 million Hex a day. It's going to continue to grow, of course, and TCM miners are going to enjoy that. Once again, we're on 4 chains: Ethereum, Pulsechain, ETH-POW, and ETH-FEAR. Obviously, the Ethereum and Pulsechain are the valuable ones, but that's kind of the play there. We've got 9.7 million T-shares in the ownership pool, so that's pretty exciting. And that started off at about the height of that, it was up at 11.2 million. We're now down at 9.7 million. We got the average mining length is around 7 years, so that's how long the average mining CD is for, 7 years. We've got a share rate which really reflects compound interest. That is part of the magic sauce. Took a lot of intellectual power to lead that share rate and put that in to reflect compound interest to make sure that long people that mined long out a bit people mining short, but also reflected a fair entry into Hex at any particular time. So it's kind of cool like that. Obviously, Hex has developed an absolutely massive community, and particularly a huge amount of influences in its own culture. And the one thing, of course, that surprised Richard to the upside was the community. And I think that's been pretty exciting. Now, of course, we have, we've been running for 1,461 days for Hex on Ethereum and 204 days on Pulsechain, which is pretty incredible. And of course, now we have also the highest of stakes on all the big streaming services, and that's only going to get slightly bigger. Highest of stakes is trending at #1 in the documented category, and in the general category was the last time I saw it was as high as 53. It may have even got higher than that. So pretty incredible. People are going to be able to watch that for years to come. And of course, in a bull market, it could be one of the names that people pick out of the hat because they've seen that documentary, they've seen that movie, and of course, the artwork and the film quality is Emmy Award winning. So it really is fantastic. So really excited, folks. It's going to be amazing. Now, of course, Richard Hart has launched Pulsechain 204 days ago, and of course, on the 10th of May, 2023, and of course, at 10:36 UTC time. And of course, we have now a juggernaut, right? We've got all that capital flowed into Pulsex, earning some pretty nice yields. We've got lots of projects launching. In fact, we're in our second big wave right now. Of course, with Liquid Lines, Power City, and many others launching on Pulsechain. And of course, we've got a lot of the best in DeFi and tokenomic innovation happening on Pulsechain as well, which is pretty exciting. So that is our bit of a summary for the fourth year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Really is exciting in the future. The future is only getting better. In fact, a couple of things I should mention that we had during the bear market was we had Hex derivatives and ecosystem really expand as well. We had the Maximus team launch all their derivatives on top of Hex. We had Alex McFurter launch his Hedron and Icosa on top of Hex. And so really Hex is no longer just a contract by itself that you can go CD mining, but it's actually a whole ecosystem, and that ecosystem is growing and growing. Now, last week I did a presentation twice in our Discord, and of course that was on the future of Hex, and you don't want to miss that because it really is fantastic, a summary of things, and we had really great feedback on that presentation. So if you want to know, have quite a bit of insight into the future of Hex, you definitely should check that out. And of course, Brian there has posted the link to the Discord if you want to join up today. Really well worth it. So we've got a lot of information. We're giving you the edge in the Discord too on a lot of projects that you would otherwise not get. So it's definitely well worth getting in there and becoming part of our community. All right, let's get into it, folks. That is pretty much it. Let's get into the normal day news, and a big shout out to Richard Hart, of course, and congratulations to him and all the devs like Dev Kyle and people like that out there, and of course Tep and Pulsechain. There's so much really amazing stuff happening with Richard Hart and his team. That brings us into crypto. You guys know we've been talking about how bullish things are, and things are heading. I mean, keep talking about it, and it keeps happening. So I don't know what's happening there, but BTC $39,460. We're at 1.9%. Bitcoin dominance just under 51%. Altcoin season, it's got to be getting close. Ethereum is at 21,665. We're up 3.74%. So as you guys know, I think if Ethereum can get to 2,400, I think it's pretty much game on. So I'm very excited about that for alt season. And of course, that's good news for Pulsechain, right? So it's going to be neat. We do see some upsides here as well. Link is standing out there, up 6.8%, $15.97. And you can see Solana there at 5.6% there at the moment, $63.23. So there are a few things going on there, but everything is pretty much green for the most part and looking pretty good. So let's get into deeper dive into Bitcoin and what the future holds, because Bitcoin is heading towards 40,000 US dollars. Man, it's looking good, isn't it? It's looking good. We got 39,469 at the moment. The high today has been 39,740. This is on Coinbase. We continue to bounce off the 20 EMA. So a big shout out to Brennan and our TA expert there on this one. A very good call. And of course, we've had a golden cross all the way back here based on the 50 EMA there as well. Very good news. And of course, we've put this window of opportunity. It's been playing out like a boss. So it's been very, very good indeed. And of course, everything is looking good. We're expecting no change in the Federal Reserve on its meeting on the 13th. It's the last meeting of the year. We're expecting, obviously, we got the budget, US budget deferred into January the 19th through to the 8th of February. So we don't have to worry about that for a little while. But the big news, of course, is the Bitcoin ETF window number 2 coming up for the 10th of January. And we got some very positive news about that. So let's talk about that because it's looking good here. So James Seifert here is one of the top analysts commentating on Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs. And he's got here an update from Scott Johnson, now official, of course, giving an update here about one of these submissions. And he's got the fact that the window is officially January the 5th to January the 10th. That's for the Bitcoin ETFs. Really, this means that any potential approval orders are going to come on either Monday, January the 8th, Tuesday, January the 9th, or Wednesday, January the 10th. Mark your calendars, people. So things are really starting to warm up here at the moment for the Bitcoin ETF. So really, really exciting to see that. And of course, good news for us. And of course, after that, we've got the fact that if it does get approved here around the 10th of January for Bitcoin ETFs, remember there are 12 of them, then we may get a good amount of them approved, if not all of them. And of course, then a month later, we will have, so maybe the 10th of February, we will have them go live, right? It takes about a month before they go live. And that'd be pretty bullish for February as well. So January, February looking good. And then, of course, we've got the Bitcoin halving over on the 17th of April. So far, everything is really playing out very good indeed. And I've got the window of opportunity at the moment pretty solid out to 19th of January. But hey, look, we get a Bitcoin approval. That's going to put the window of opportunity way out up to the Bitcoin halving there. And so things continue to be good as we get in the early phases of a more longer bull market. So I'm expecting obviously a mini bull market, then maybe a bit of a pullback, and then a rally up for the longer period bull market into 2025. So that's going to be the play there. Now, the other thing, of course, is we may get a Fed pivot maybe by May. I'm not calling March, but maybe by May at the earliest, we could get a Fed pivot. It'd be just after the Bitcoin halving. We might have a bit of a relapse in the stock market by mid-year. And of course, the real economy probably getting at the worst bit of the interest rate hike. So that's kind of the downside stuff. But then for crypto, could be very good news, and it helps us to rally into October. If we get a good outcome with Trump winning the election in October, then we'll get back to common sense and world peace, and rather than the wars and craziness going on at the moment. And of course, then we could keep rallying into 25, and it's good times for all us as our crypto gets more valuable. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. Ethereum, of course, similar story as well. Ethereum there at the moment, always also bouncing off the 20 EMA there. We got the price at 21.66 on the Ethereum there. The high of the day at 21.90. We're getting so close to that 2400. And of course, this is going to be exciting for us. Altcoin season, bring it on. The other thing, of course, is that we are probably expecting not until around about March here for the Ethereum ETF approval. So that's going to open up, obviously, the biggest capital markets to crypto. It's a big, big deal. It's about as big as it gets, folks, besides global sovereign adoption. It really is incredible having all the private capital markets opening up. And we may see a lot of things happening. New capital coming in from all the institutions. New capital, of course, being switched away from one quality asset like gold into Bitcoin. We may see some portfolio reshuffling, rebalancing into crypto as part of their quality offerings. As you guys know, BlackRock was talking about that being quality offering, and you don't get much better than that. So I think it's looking pretty exciting. Let's get quickly here from the biggest fund manager in the world about how excited he is around Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs and the flight to quality assets, and now including Bitcoin and crypto. This is a pivot. This is a fundamental change. It really is incredible.
Clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
So this kind of advertising for crypto by the CEO of BlackRock is just a pre-marketing exercise to say that Bitcoin ETFs are coming, and you should consider them if you're a big fund manager. Or maybe you're, finance CFO or something, in one of these big corporates. So, and also it's sort of juicing up the SEC, right? And they've just had meetings with the SEC, so it's looking pretty good. All right, that's going to lead us in the Pulsechain. Before we do that, let's catch up in the chat there and say hello to a few extra people that have jumped in here. What other comments have we got as well? Adam says it best. Happy birthday, Hex. Absolutely. Who else is here? Hex on Choice says, what happened to the Hex share rate? Why didn't it jump to 1,400? I do not know. I haven't followed up. That was Hexfire's channel, his projection. He's been very good with the projections. I'm not sure whether he's addressed it on his own YouTube channel. Might try and check that up today and maybe get back to you on that one. Roderick Patrick says, morning, Superman and all. Hey, Roderick Patrick, welcome to the chat. So I just went on Pulsechain site after not using it for a month. How do I add liquid loan token to PLSX? Just keeps taking me to my app. What I would do is go to the liquid loan site. I will post that later on in the live stream, so you can get that. Go to the source of the site there. You'll be able to get contracts. I'll show you where they are. Don't click on any weird sites. Now, one thing I want to say is be careful out there. There have been some community members have been rugged by clicking on the wrong links, unofficial links, and some of them have lost a lot of money. So very careful out there. People are trying to target the Pulsechain project launches. So be very careful on X social platform, any platform. go to official sites. Make sure you're always using official sites. Don't be careless. Don't just be in a rush. Make sure you always go to the official sites and get the links. Now, we do our best in Discord, of course, under useful links to have the best links. So it's another alternative source there, but really be careful and do your own due diligence. Really, you're ultimately responsible, but really be careful because there's really people targeting you in this community. So be careful there with the links that you use. I just want to highlight that. What else we got there? Ryan says, how is Power City going to protect the chart on launch and provide massive liquidity? Well, I imagine they're going to probably step them up, Ryan, is the way that probably should be done. And I think that's what Liquid Loans is probably doing as well. What else there? Sandy Beach says, hey, Brian, and everybody. Nice one there, Sandy. Just having fun with Liquid Loans. Yeah, you got in nice and early. Well done on that. You're playing that very well. Is there one button website to buy Pulse with USDC? You could use, I think, Coast. You can use Coast on-ramp. The link's in the video description. You can do that with USDC. So definitely check that out. That's from Ethereum to Pulse if you want that through the Coast link. That's Brian's link in the video description. So sign up to Coast. You can do that on there. What else there? We've got, hi, Joey. Hey, Joey. Good to see you. Titanx looking like the next Hex that's on Ethereum chain. Yep, it's looking very good indeed on Ethereum. What else there? Butchers and else there. Morning, folks. It's smoking hot in Brisbane. Today's Sunday is pool party day. That sounds really good. Where's our invite though, Butch? Where's our invite? You can't have a pool party and not invite everybody from the, especially on the X fourth birthday. I mean, that's just teasing us, right? This is teasing us. TC to Pulse X is a nice delay gratification. Yeah. Hey, look, Pulse X is looking very good for pickup. So someone asked me the other day, what would you do with $3,000? And I said, if you put me to the wall, then Pulse X is the play. Now, we've got Power City coming up for the launch. So you do the math. You do the math. Power City is about to come up, and I think that's probably going to be pretty good for Pulse X. Spike says, knew this day would come. Nice one, Spike. Right, let's get into it, folks. Liquid Loans. Sorry, no, we're going to go Pulsechain. Pulsechain first. Pulsechain results for day 204. And, of course, here we are. Contra 0631, down 2.25%. No, 2.5% here on the old Pulse at 63% of sacrifice price after yesterday's little Liquid Loans pump there. Pulse X at the moment, Contrib 0174, down almost 4.9% at the moment. One PHEX will get you, no, one Pulse will get you 3.62 Pulse X, and the buy and burn at the moment is heading up and up at 578,751,000 Pulse X have been bought up and burned. We're now 2.81% of all public supply has been burned. Now remember that number because we're going to be talking about Pulsechain and the impact of liquid loans. So stay tuned for that. So 2.61% of Pulse X being bought up and burned. We got Power City coming down the line there. Pulse X looking good. Power City could really bump the Pulse X big time. So keep a lookout for that. It is a pretty good call. And obviously not financial advice. You must do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. But we're playing probability here. Incentive token there is down 4.7%. Just under 70 cents there, and 11,000 on the Pulse ratio. That must be an all-time low there. We're just over 18 million in incentive token supply, and with 115,000 burned through the TRH GameFi protocol from Jacob's ecosystem. Hex there is at 1.12 cents, down 7.3% after being up pretty well yesterday. I think it was like 16% up yesterday. So it's just a bit of profit taking there today. And of course, the EHEX there is at 62 of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PHEX is currently 1.74 cents, which is actually a lot better than it was a little while back there. So pretty good. And we just lost the screen just in time though, because I just did the update just before it got refreshed there. Let's look at the charts and come back to that. But at the moment, this is Pulse, and the Pulse there looking not too bad there. We're in the middle of the Bollinger Bands. I think that's looking pretty good. We're pretty much bounced off here. We got like a little W in there, Brennan. Is that a little like a really ugly looking W? That's kind of look. Is that another W? I don't know. But let's see what Brennan says about that. The RSI is kind of at 52 at the moment, so right in the middle of the ballpark. So we'll keep a lookout for Pulse there, and of course liquid loans. We're going to talk about the impact of liquid loans on Pulse because it has been of significance. We're going to talk about that later on. So stay tuned. Let's have a look. We're going to come back to the projects as well. We're going to look at the future projects coming up. PulseX, of course, is pretty much here at Contrib 0174. I think this is looking like a really good pickup in the lead up to Power City Earn protocol. That's a liquidity fork that's going to be taking PulseX in as collateral. And I think that might be really, really positive. It's a lot lower entry too than the liquid loans, which is fantastic, but it's only $500 for a loan level. So I think that's a far wider access to a lot of people. And of course, they have a huge following as well. So another big, ginormous project like Liquid Lines launching, but this time going to benefit Pulsechain directly. Very, very bullish on that one. So definitely something to consider. We are 46 on the RSI, so even a lot cooler off than the Liquid Lines. Sorry, no, than Pulsechain there. Man, I'm mixing up a few things there. We got the incentive token. Incentive token at the moment is at just under 70 cents. After yesterday's pump, went up to 75. And the RSI, have we got the RSI? No, I haven't got the RSI on this. We're going to look at the ratio though. Let's look at the ratio. We are down all-time low on that 11,000 pulse per one incentive at the moment. Let's move on into PHEX. PHEX here, we really had a nice pump. We pumped from 95 hundredth of a penny all the way up to 1.2 cents there, and we're just come back down to 1.1 cents at the moment. I think PHEX is looking pretty good as well, but definitely Pulsechain probably at the moment at least with Power City coming up has got to be the pick, got to be the choice, right? As the old Power City Pulsechain relationship there. What else we got there? Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI is very cool, down at 47. And the other thing here is we got this nice little cross on the MACD. That's a bullish sign, right? So yeah, keep a look out. I probably have Pulsechain, PHEX, and then Pulse, and then EHEX is probably the ranking I'd put it at the moment. Let's look at EHEX. EHEX there at 61 hundredth of a penny, and just sort of ticking along there, waiting for the rest of them to move, no doubt. The only thing that's going to move that, I think, relatively to the other RH coins is a whale coming in and doing something like this. So that's kind of where we're at this stage. Now, potentially a bit longer term, there may be a lot of upside. So definitely something to consider maybe after Pulsechain and Power City have played out. Some food for thought there. And the RSI is pretty good as well, down at 46. Of course, don't forget the market is rallying. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are rallying. And Ethereum almost about to trigger altcoin season big time, I would say. So looking pretty good there too. That brings us back into the validators. Let's look at this. 50,713 validators. We're just off the all-time high. And at the moment, we've got 1.62 trillion that is staked with the validators, and that's off the market. Now, we've been as high as 1.64. We're currently at 1.62. So let's get our calculator, and I want you to remember this number. Remember, for Pulsechain, we've got 2.82% bought up and burned. But for Pulse, we've got 1.62 out of 15. So divide by 15, which is the public supply of Pulse, that it's 10.8%. So remember that number, 10.8%, because when we get up to the Liquid Lines update, we're going to add in Liquid Lines to that. Now, I'm ignoring, of course, the Genesis validators that burned all their Pulse. That was about 132, 134 billion Pulse that they burnt. So we're going to ignore that for the time being. But that is kind of the play. All right, let's jump over to the next category. We're going to have a look at the PRC20s quickly. We're going to have a look for some highlights here. We've got any highlights? Pulse Bitcoin up 8.4%. What else there? Lido is up 9% there. That's pretty much it. That's kind of the highlights there at the moment. Link Chain up 5% there amongst those. Let's jump over to the meme coins. That's our third category, of course. Meme coins there. We've got Access Alive is actually up 12% today. That is one of the influencers in the space. $2,900 on that. What else is doing okay? We Pulse X there. I actually jumped into one of their their X social was it a Twitter hangout where you chat? And of course that's up 7.8% there. Very little liquidity on there, but hey, look, they keep going. They keep getting in those Twitter spaces, and that's a good thing, right? For their community. Moving to the Pulsechain projects, which is our main group here, category number 4. And we're going to be sorting by, instead of liquidity, we're going to be sorting by the 24-hour. And we can see that PHEX is at the moment is, that was very liquidity there. We'll ignore that one. Daytona Finance up 1.8%. And Ophir there is up 1.6%. Yeah, so not much movement there, only Daytona and Ophir. Ophir, of course, Daytona Finance is kind of that DEX one that was pretty big originally. And Ophir there is the endowment token from Rags to Riches and Crypto Heartbeat. That's ticking away there at the moment. Let's have a quick look at that price, actually. Price chart action is on the daily. There we go. So that's pretty much it. It's just bounced off the bottom. 50, 1700. Now 50 is 2100. How about that? So that is pretty much it. Let's have a look at the TRH ecosystem. This is the game from Jacob ecosystem. Everything pretty down slightly there at the moment. and 9-inch, the third biggest protocol, of course, is how's that doing? Let's have a look. 9-inch pulse there. Now it's lost a 0 again. So just trying to lose a 0 seems to be the main goal here at the moment. But it's currently at 5 zeros, 9,700. So definitely that is just ticking along. Now the yields are still pretty attractive in the DEX, and maybe getting in around now is probably a reasonable idea. But it's still about 40% below sacrifice price on this one. We got 1560, something like that. So we're still down around about 37%. Now this ignores, of course, the Ethereum side, but we're down 37% on the Pulsechain side below sacrifice based on my numbers that I calculated on their official total dollars versus sacrifice or token existence. So that's going to play there. All right, that's 9-inch. Now we're going to have a look at stable coins. So let's do that. What tape have we got there? Now we've got the algo there. No. Now, what's coming up in the future? Let's talk about that quickly. We kind of talked about this, so we're going to leave that open. We're going to have stable coins. Let's go stable coins. Now we're going to look at the future coming up, as well as some of the results. But before we do that, I mean, 1, 2. Let's just do it. Let's do it now, and we'll get it out of the way because it's kind of cool. I do love talking about this section, which is stuff coming up here. Let's get into that. Let me just scale that up there so you guys can see it. So we've got liquid lines, of course, just launched, and we're going to be talking about that today with the sort of beginning of the second day results, right? We're only on second day, maybe about 6 or 7 hours into it. We've got Power City coming up. Now, we don't know exactly when Power City is launching, but we know it was going to be maybe a week after Fetrocal. But, of course, they don't want to launch at the same time liquid lines. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So even though they could probably launch a week after the Fetrocal, we're expecting them to launch a bit later. So at the moment, I got them tentatively in here for the 6th of December. We're also waiting for Barista from Magic Carpet Ride to launch. I think they had a bit more work to do, but they should be launching not too far after liquid lines. So Barista, there's another front end. Remember, Power City's got Amplifier, which is a front end too. So both of these are front ends, but Power City's got its own liquidity fork with Pulsex, and that's super bullish for Pulsex, right? That's why Pulsex probably the preferred play there. Just makes a lot of probability sense, doesn't it? So that's kind of play there at the moment. TRH V4, we thought we might see that now, but we're going to have to push this out because we haven't got any news about that. We're going to have to do an interview probably next week on that one with TRH. So we're going to move that out. And we've also got Win-Win coming up, maybe mid-December, a Pulsepot. Now, Win-Win needs Fetrocal, right, from what I understand. And, of course, we also have Pulsepot also needs the Fetrocal also. Maybe that's mid-December as well. And then, of course, we've got No Token there on 9-inch DEX from Randy Alaski, maybe mid-December as well. And that's kind of a tentative date there given by Randy himself. Then, of course, 90mm Pro, maybe in the second half of December for the OG 555 NFTs and airdrops there. And, of course, we've got more coming from them. And, of course, we just had their V3 launch, right? V3 DEX launch. TYCZ, a DeFi Binance, and maybe out in January there. And, of course, followed up by PUSD Algo. And, of course, I think both of these protocols are going to be huge, like huge. I think TYRH V4 could be a massive upgrade to the game farm. And, of course, in terms of DeFi, massive protocols coming from Jacob's ecosystem there. And, of course, if you missed the interview I did about 4 days ago, definitely check that out. We covered a PUSD Algo, pretty amazing there as well. And, of course, he's got Pulsepot to launch on Pulsechain as well. So lots are happening in the Jacob's ecosystem. One of the biggest ecosystems, of course, a leader in DeFi on Pulsechain. So a pretty big deal. Now we're going to go to quickly look at Algo coin. So obviously you guys know that Algo is out, and I've been pushing this quite a lot. I think this could be huge, dudes. I mean, so far we've got CST from Coast, which is a fiat-backed stablecoin. We just had Liquid Loans launch with USDL stablecoin, so backed by Pulse. And then we're going to have Power City come out with PXDC backed by Pulsex. Big deal, right? Big deal. And then, of course, we've got front ends for those. Now, the fourth stable coin is going to be an algorithmic coin, which is PUSD. And we had Jacob on talking about this in full about 4 days ago. So definitely watch that live stream if you want to get more info. But, of course, you can get access to this. I think I've got the link in the video description. So definitely go. That's at the top. You can get a 19% bonus. Now, there's two bonuses. One is the referral bonus, which I've got pretty much the second highest one. So you can use that in the video description link. And the second one is if you do over $1,000, you can get a random bonus up to from between 1.5 and 2, which is a big deal. So let's just take a look at the moment. We're currently 45 days is the sacrifice phase. And this is a big deal. This is a big DeFi protocol. You're going to have a PUSD stablecoin, which is going to be algorithmic. And then you're going to have the opportunity to participate with the stability miner. and the stability miner is going to help keep that USD pegged, and of course going to offer a lot of revenue opportunities. Now there's going to be 4 tokens in the system, Algo, PUSD, right? Those are the 2 main ones. And then of course you're going to have Flex, which is going to be the incentive token version, and of course a wrapped PUSD, which is going to be like the staking version of the stablecoin PUSD. So that's kind of the play there. There's going to be 2 forms of income, basically inflation forms, and of course trading and platform income as well. So it's a utility and inflation combined. So it's going to be pretty neat in terms of revenue there. Now the sacrifice, of course, running 45 days. The first 15 days is critical because the X bonus, which is that second bonus, you got the referral bonus and the X bonus. The X bonus is minimum 1.5 to 2. So it's your best chance of getting a high bonus in the first 15 days. That drops down from 1.5 to 1.25 at the bottom of that range, right? You get a random bonus allocated to you as once you hit $1,000, and that's inclusive of the referral bonus. So you don't actually need 1,000. You need the whatever it is that gets you to 1,000 with the 90% bonus there. And of course, then we go down. So earlier pays better, the first 15 days, then the second 15 days, and the third 15 days. And of course, let's have a look at an example here. So we got 2 examples here. This wallet here used a referral code with 13%. So that's inclusive. So they got $2,900 inclusive of the referral bonus. And they got a random X bonus allocated to them of 1.5, which was right at that bottom of the range of 1.5 to 2. So the higher the better. And of course, this person here got the top bonus that referral you could get 1.2, which is actually quite hard to get. And of course, they got a very high random bonus of 1.95. And so their $2,400 went to $4,800, and that's getting them the most tokens. So based on $4,796, which includes all those bonuses, they will get, for every dollar, they'll get 20 algo tokens, which is what you need to get the stablecoin, PUSD. They got 200 Flex tokens, which is the incentive token, and they got 0.01 wrap Pulse USD, which is pretty much the stablecoin that you use for staking, right? And so in terms of that, they ended up getting this allocation here based on the amount of dollars they got up with all the bonuses there. So very big deal there. And so far, we've got $200,000 been hit here at the moment, which I think nets out probably about 100,000 or so without the bonuses. So that is a really big deal there at the moment. So really low cap at the moment. So the chances for this having big upside is really, really, really big. But once again, you need to do your own investment due diligence and, of course, not financial advice. You really do need to get it set there. Now, there are docs at the bottom here. And, of course, you can watch the video I did 4 days ago with Jacob. And I'm really excited about this protocol. A stable coin with a stability miner. This has got new tokenomics, of course. It's going to have tons of miners running around then in real time. Now, we can see that in action now. So we don't have to wait for it to be live. We've actually got a live prototype at the moment running on a Pulsechain already. And let's go have a look at it at the moment. So we've got USDL at the moment, 99 cents. That's closed its peg. CST is at 98 cents, and USDL PUSD here is at $1. So far the protocol is running pretty well there. We had a little dip here, a little back on the 5-minute chart, but you can see how it gets put back to peg by the miners there. So very, very excited about this. You can see how stable it has been for the most of the time there, apart from this little breach here, but it gets pushed right back by the stability miner, and that's what the stability miner role is. And of course, people can provide liquidity to do that. One way of getting the best deal, of course, is to get in early. And so that's the place to be through the sacrifice at the moment. So the referral links in the video description there. So definitely use that. You want to get your 90% bonus. And if you do get inclusive of $1,000, you'll be able to get a random bonus on top of that, which is a big, big deal at the moment, because it could be between 1.5 and 2 there. So pretty neat there. So there are 2 good examples here of how the differences can be. So definitely try and use a 19% one, the one I've given you in the video description. And good luck. Hopefully, if you get in early in the first 15 days, you'll get a pretty high X bonus as well. That will give you total dollars really high, and of course max out your amount that you'll get. Now the total supply at the moment of Algo is 6.1 million tokens. The wrap PUSD, which is used for staking the stablecoin and getting earning fees, is at 3,051. And the Flex, the incentive token there, is currently at 61 million. So there we go. I'll be covering this most days, so you won't you'll be able to get in at any particular time. But the first 15 days is really important, and we've just started day 9. So get into that at the moment. All right, let us move on. The tokenomics for that, of course, is this in this sheet. If you're wondering how it all works, the stability miner sheet is really cool for that. Definitely worth checking out. So you can find that under the documents if you want to check that out. All right. Now, one of the news I want to talk about was Internet Money. Internet Money at the moment is just launched there on Polygon. So shout out to that. So we're going to go through their launch here quickly. This is KG, so big shout out to KG and congratulations to him for that. Let me just find the link here that I'm after. It's just down here, I think. Let's see here. So I think we're a bit further down here. They have just launched on Polygon. Just trying to find the tweet here that they had, all the posts. Airdrop incoming time. Now this is launched. So if you're holding time token on Polygon, you were going to get if you hold future on Ethereum, receive your crypto airdrop. So you've probably got your airdrop for time on Polygon now if you're holding that future token. So that's pretty important. And of course, he had a big live stream on that. So hold future on Ethereum, receive time on Polygon. So that's basically if you were doing that, you would have got your time airdropped on Polygon. And if you put it into the wallet, you're going to earn all the fees that trade through Polygon. So that's kind of the cool thing there from Internet Money. So big shout out to him. Liquid Loans, of course, we're going to talk about that. Liquid Loans had a big interview with Adam Stokes, so a pretty big influence in the space. So that was pretty cool. So you can definitely check that out. The other thing, of course, is that we saw is that Liquid Loans has launched a new analytics page, and we're going to check that out too. Total value locked is now included. Total number of volts is now included. Total value of USDL staked, and of course, total value of loan staked as well. So really cool to see that on the analytics page. We're going to check that out in a second. And of course, the other thing is, of course, use the official addresses on the website. So Liquid Loans reinforcing that. Don't go out and get willy-nilly addresses because there's so many scammers out there targeting these launches on Pulsechain. There's some moral people out there. That's about as all you can say about them, right? They don't care about stealing your money, so don't let them steal your money by clicking on their links. Big ups to the crew for rocking the launch, says Patias. Patias, of course, a big aggregator. Just dropped USDL and loan into our token list. Just spiced up the Pathfinder for smoother rides. Cheers for all those gains rolling in. Trade now on Batias, which is pretty cool for that. So getting some big support from existing DEX aggregators on Pulsechain, big deal. And of course, very excited to see all the stuff that's coming from Liquid Loans. Now, we may have a big interview coming up next week. Stay tuned for Liquid Loans. More on Hex Token channel as we cover the Liquid Loans launch. It is going to be exciting to see this ramp up because it's a very pivotal protocol for Pulsechain, and of course it brings in leverage lending, stablecoin, USDL, and much more. So it really is cool. Now, one thing I want to highlight about Patias also having a very good time as a DEX aggregator. In the last 24 hours, the swap volume on Patias hit $5.9 million, with the cumulative liquidity routing volume reaching $9 million. So pretty amazing. During the same time span, 79 wallets hopped on the Patias train for the first time. Adaption game strong. So a big shout out to Patias there. For growing and doing a great job. It's pretty much the go-to for a lot of people doing on-chain swaps now on Pulsechain. So there's PortalWix is out there too. So there are a couple options, but really they do have MEV bot protection as well on Patias, looking pretty good. So that brings us to Liquid Loans, of course. So we're going to talk about some of the key metrics. Let's do that. We've got some of the key metrics here. Let me just go to the, we've got the base there. We're going to go to the analytics. All right, so now I talked about, before we go to analytics, let's have a quick look at the contracts because someone asked about those for Liquid Loans. So let's pull those up first. And we're going to go to add token. If you go to on Liquid Loans protocol, go.liquidloans.io, you'll come to add tokens and you'll have the official tokens. That's how easy it is to make sure you don't get scammed. Now, the official tokens for loan token here ends in 1B3B. And of course, the USDL stablecoin ends in A162. So you can use that on DEX Screener to look for these if you want to buy and sell. If you want to add them to your wallet or whatever else you're doing, you can do that too. You can also click on the protocol and it will help to auto add them anyway. So if you go to the top, let me just go to the home page here. Let me just get it. I've got this on big chart here, I think. If you go down here, I've had that on Zoom. But if you click on the loan token or USDL, it's going to auto add it to your wallet. So just click on that and it will pop up a box and add it to your wallet. So that's one way you can do that too on Liquid Loans. Now let's go through to the analytics. And we can see they've got this new analytics now, which is fantastic, right? So good stuff here. Let's full screen that. So total value locked. Now, remember I gave you that number. Remember the validators? The validators there had 1.62 trillion off the market, which has been as high as 1.4. Now it was 10.8%. Now, liquid loans is obviously a lending protocol that collateralizes Pulse. And so far, let's do a refresh on here. But so far, we've had 240 billion Pulse here go on to liquid loans. 240 billion. Isn't that fantastic? So that's pretty incredible. Let's add it to our 10.8%. So let's do that quickly. So 0.24. And that would divide that by I guess by 5, and that's 5. That's let me just do the maths on that. So let me 240 divided by 5,000. Oh, 15, isn't it? Sorry, 15. Yeah, 15. 240 divided by 15. I don't know. I had some calculations issues there, but that is 1.6%. So 1.6% of all Pulse in the public hands is now off the market because of liquid loans. So people have put it into liquid loans and they've got themselves a USDL stablecoin, which is incredible, right? $15.25 million is that's what the 240 billion Pulse is worth. And of course, if we add that 1.6% to the validators here, we get a pretty cool number. We get how much? We got 12.5%, almost 12.5% of all Pulse is now off the market. And that just shows you what a global good USDL. So people that use liquid loans and USDL stablecoin, it is a public good as well as an individual benefit that they get from using that. So 12.5% now off the market. Now, I would love to see within a short space of time, maybe, I don't know, 5-6 weeks, that liquid loans moves up to say 5% of the supply. That'd be fantastic results to get 5% more off. So we're at 1.6% now. It'd be great to sort of maybe over a 6-week period, if we could get up towards 5%, that'd be pretty spectacular. See how we get on with that. But that really, really good so far. That's even more Pulse off the market, so which is kind of cool. Now, the other cool things, we've got a total collateral ratio of 212%. We've got staked USDL. So let's see how much USDL. So people put all this Pulse in, and so far they've got 7.18 million USDL dollars. Basically, that's basically crypto dollars. So 7 million, amazing. What's it, about twice as much as the Coast Fiat on-ramp? The Coast Fiat on-ramp is doing a fantastic job, but just shows you how quickly these liquidity forks can, bring money out of nowhere into the chain. And of course, people can go use that to either stake or to go and buy Pulse, more Pulse, and get more Pulse off the market, things like that. So it's a lot of cool things happening there. Now, we've got, out of all that stablecoin that has been issued, 62.8% is now staked. That's 4.5 million. So a lot of people have staked there. That is pretty incredible, right? Pretty incredible. Now, the Stability Pool APR at the moment, now this is early days, but it's at 4.3%. The loan token stake is 208 billion. Remember, we're expecting about 25% to come out. And because there's a 2-year bonding curve, so every month there's going to be more loan token come out. We've also got a liquidity incentive pool at the moment, which has got 150 billion loan coming out. If you're providing liquidity, I know some people are, and of course that's going to be over 42 days, so that's coming out as well. And the other thing, of course, the staking pool APR there is at 0.29%, so we'll see how that goes too as time moves forward as well. So you can see the TVL there, charts has been added as brand new charts. I might be the first streamer that's covering these charts possibly. So total number of volts as well. This is a good number. We didn't have this publicly available, as I was aware. We started off at 299. Now we're at 485. So these are the amount of loans. Just imagine this is the amount of loans. So there's about 485 that have been made. 17 closed and 7 liquidated. So there's already been 7 volts liquidated, which means they must add very, very high risky collateral, higher than 110% is my guess on those. So you do have to have, you use the protocol wisely in terms of your risk that you take on. Now, total value of USDL staked there is also moved up. So it's kind of cool, 4.4 million. And total value of loan stake there is at 4.2 million there. So not too bad, not too bad. So some cool metrics there from Liquid Loans. Global good, 1.6% of all public Pulse is off the market. And of course, the stable coin for buying more good stuff, more Pulse X, is up 7.18% there. And of course, we may have had that one liquidation because they had very, very high collateral ratio, very low collateral ratio, I should say. Well, it depends on the way you talk about it, but they took on a lot of risk. And of course, the price of Pulse and that, moved back from yesterday's move higher. So maybe that was what took them out. The TCR is actually pretty low relatively, although this looks kind of like how it does on Ethereum. I think it's like 200 to 250% on Ethereum. So it's probably pretty much in the normal mode. And you can see it's green at the moment. So it's kind of cool. So that is liquid loans. We're going to bring more of liquid loans we're going to have a big interview hopefully coming up next week. So stay tuned for that with liquid loans, and we'll do more coverage. Now, let's go to the price chart for liquid loans because we've got USDL stable. Let's look at the USDL stable coin first. And we can see that, let's look at what we're going to look at, an hourly chart there. That's the hourly chart. So this yellow line is the price at $1. So we're below peg at the moment at 97, but it looks like we've been heading back towards peg most of the time at $1. So that's kind of cool. Remember, $1 of USDL is always redeemable for $1 worth of Pulse, right? So, there's a little bit of arbitrage opportunity there. And of course, this stuff at the beginning, that's pretty normal based on where I've seen a lot of stable coins launched. They often launch off peg before, sort of heading towards a up and down motion around the peg there. The peg is the $1 yellow line. So not too bad there. All right. So always some opportunities for market players. The other one, of course, is liquid loans. So let's have a look at that. We're going to go to the Pulsechain projects. And I'm pretty sure loan tokens here somewhere. Just got to find it. We've got so many tokens adding into the Pulsechain list that it's going to get pretty long line of tokens. Where are you, loan token? Come on, loan token. We can find it there right at the bottom. How about that? All right, so let's talk about this loan chart, right? So this loan chart here, so this yellow line, I have this as the sacrifice price. This is the average sacrifice price. Obviously, you've got different sacrifice prices because there's a 2-year bonding curve, right? And bigger pays better, longer pays better type of thing. And of course, there's a couple of referrals out there too. So I don't know how many referrals. It was about 20 referrers that did well. So they got a lot of free coins or cheap coins. So some of them may sell off early. You could always see some of the referrals sell off. But in any case, we had a big whale sell off, right? So this chart here, let me have a look at this is on the 15-minute, this chart. So we started off pretty well. Around sacrifice price. We came down well below it, 2,500. We got back up to sacrifice price again. And then we came all the way down here. Now, the thing is, we had a big whale. A big whale was deciding to exit for some reason. So I don't know what he did with his money. But there he went. And I think he had, I saw him when he had about 2.5 billion tokens or something. And then I think he had maybe 3 or more billion. And, he decided to sell out. And he just kept on selling. Now he just kept on selling. You can see it down here, selling. He couldn't help himself, and he had to keep selling. He did 10 million, he did 20 million. He just keeps selling, and he just went on forever because he had like I say, he must have had like 3 billion or more, give or take. So maybe even 4 billion coins. So I had to get rid of that whale. That whale wanted to exit, and out he went. So then we sort of came back up here to quadruple 032, a bit of a reprieve, came back down a little bit there, 2.4, back up again. And now we're back down here as well. Now, I haven't looked to see who's selling in here, but definitely we had a whale that was exiting in here, which is kind of the play there, which is kind of weird, right? Because liquid loans, the stats are doing really well. So the platform is doing really, really well, like really, really well. But, if you've got a sacrifice exiting, this is the way it goes. Now, remember, there was $51 million sacrifice for this. So it was very highly capitalized project, potentially well overcapitalized. Although, of course, Liquid Loans has bought us a lot of top-tier protocols, including PulseSafe, the multi-sig, Fetch Oracle, which is a big deal, and, of course, Liquid Loans as well. And they've got more stuff in store for us coming up in the future. So it should be very good for Pulsechain. Now, what we're going to say about this is that, market participants will do what they do. And, of course, if it comes down here, it may be a big opportunity to close the gap back to the mean sacrifice price there. We'll see how we go. So going to be interesting there. So how do we get this average sacrifice price at quadruple 0? Was it 00046? Is it? Yeah. Let me just see how many zeros I got in there. Quadruple 0.468. Well, we went to the old reference site here, which is a Liquid Loans where we were used to monitor the sacrifices, just to give you an idea of what we were looking at. and this is indicative only, right? So the official sacrifice site went down when they launched Pulse liquid loans, but here we had 51.6 million based on this site. So I just use this data and the estimated supply of 1.1 trillion loan tokens there. Now that may be different. I can't remember what the sacrifice site had. I think it had slightly lower dollars, like 47 million or something in there. But yeah, the total loan token, I guess one would have to look at the total supply. But that's not going to be showing all the future stuff that's coming out every month over 2 years, is my guess. So let's have a look at the total loan supply at the moment. Yeah, we got this 5.5 trillion in here at the moment. So that's kind of the expected loan token supply. So that's kind of the break there. It's very different from this number, of course, but that's the number that we were using to get that average. All right, so that is the play. Just to give you the caveats on that. So we'll see how we go with this and see whether we can get pushed back up higher in the chart. Maybe this is a more fair market value. Let us know in the chat there. Let's go into the chats and see what else we've got there. So we're going to get into the final update, which is around the Hex. We're going to do Hex daily updates. But in terms of Pulse, we've got some cool things happening, of course. We've got Bristol coming, Power City coming, TRH V4, Win-Win, Pulsepot, Nope Token, TRIZZ, PUSD, Atlas dashboard, and the rest of Atlas launches, including Stratus. Stratus is coming as well, and that's going to be pretty fun. So Atlas and Stratus are both frontier DeFi technology for Pulsechain, so looking really, really exciting for that. So that's kind of coming down the line there. All right, that was pretty good coverage of that, I thought. Let's see what else people thought before we get into the Hex Daily stats. We're at an hour, 2 minutes through the live. Let's jump up the top here. Who else we got in here? We've got Samuel. You got tons of questions, dude. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through all those. Maybe that's something for Discord. Maybe jump in the Discord talking about those. You got quite a few big questions in there. Marco says, "How do you leverage Hex?" Says Marco. How do you? Well, you can go to Famous, and you can do it on Famous if you want to go do a leverage play on Hex, or you can do it on Fiat. So Fiat there. You go to, oh no, my PHUX there. You go to PHUX. You go to Fiat. Where's Fiat? Fiat. This is a fork of Aave, so you could do basic leverage on here with the Aave one. I guess $5.7 million on there at the moment, which is pretty good. I think they've done a great job with this. But if you want to use the big leverage, then you have to go to Famous, and that's the one you want to use here. So those are two options for you. Let's move out of that. And of course, you're going to have to go to trade. You click the trade button there and connect your wallet into click trade. You'll be able to do a trade here. You can go long or short. So long means that you're betting the price will go up. Short means you're betting the price will go down. Now, it will be subject to the amount of liquidity that's available. So you have to see the utilization of liquidity. Now, obviously, stable coins are used to go short, and the Richard Hart coins here are used to go long. So it just depends. There is a bit of money available for Pulse. Pulse Hex has got plenty available if you want to go long on Pulse, on Hex. It's only 33%, so there's plenty of liquidity there for Hex to go long if you want to do that. All right, that was pretty quick. That was an easy question. Short questions are good questions. Thank you very much for that, Marco. All right, and we've got Famous there. I think who is that? Is that Samuel B is writing an essay in the chat? There's no use pointing writing an essay because I'm not going to read an essay out on the live stream, and that's all we're going to say about that. So that is Fiat there, and of course that is Fame as well. That is Fame. All right, not bad. All right, let's come back up the top here. I guess I just wasn't showing my screen, so let me just show my screen quickly. This is Fiat, and that is Fame. That is Fame there, and of course you have to click the trade button to do long or to do short. There we go. All right. Bam. What else we got going? Let's jump through some of those comments. Chris A is in the house there. Hex is still the GOAT of cryptos and can't be bettered. And on Pulsechain, it is in pure undercovered state that the world realizes this is inevitable, in my opinion, of course. Nice one, Chris A. We agree with you. What else we got going there? Let's jump through those comments. Archie says, we are going to see periodic volatility on PUSD. They are turning off the stability miners occasionally to do some testing. Nice one, Archie. Appreciate that. If you see PUSD depegging somewhat, it's just be part of their testing. Nice one, Archie. What else there? let me have a look here. We got Jonah. Someone made a big oof on that USDL to wrap pulse chart, says Jonah. Indeed. What else we got going? Let me jump through all that. We got Check My Pulse. What's up, Superman? Hey, Check My Pulse. Welcome to the chat. Let me see what else. Check My Pulse. LFG Hexco says Check My Pulse. Absolutely. I think we're up to all that. Speeding through. Brian says that is chat for Discord, not here. Yeah, absolutely. Just yeah, Samuel, please don't flood the chat with a lot of stuff there. You get it into Discord if you want to talk about that. And join the Discord here. Absolutely, that's the place to be. All right, let's get into the final stuff there around Hex, Hex daily stats, and let's go. All right, so Hex day 1461. Of course, Hex's fourth birthday. The results the 2nd of December 2023. And of course, the price there is at 6,200 for a penny, down 2.3%. The payout per T-share is 6.694 Hex per T-share. The share rate, no change at 30,694. We will try and follow up with that around X5's projections, and maybe he's done something on his YouTube channel. Just haven't checked yet, so should have done it, I guess, but it's not got around to it. We've got so much stuff happening in the Discord and other things. Average mining length 7.03 years, 38.81% for the APY for existing T-share miners. The T-shares are down 8,900. We've got 9.7 million in the ownership pool on the old Ethereum chain. Moving to lock percentage of coins, 9.4% of Hex is locked on the old Ethereum. We had pretty modest penalties again. This is a good sign in the old Ethereum side, by the way. This trend for low penalties, that's a good sign. We're sitting at 65 million Hex in the pool at the moment. And of course, the liquid holders up 22 on Ethereum, and we've got 14 decrease in miners at 119,708. Moving to Pulsechain, which is day, what did I say? Day 204. Is that what I said? Yeah. It is the 2nd of December. We got the price there at 1.1 cent, down 7.2% after being up quite nicely yesterday, 15.7. T-share payout on the old Pulsechain, 6.68 Hex per T-share. No change in the share rate today, sitting at 30,745. The average mining length a bit shorter than on Ethereum. It is only 6.84, but that's pretty long. The APY is a bit lower too, 37.55%. Looking at the ownership pool, we're down 6,700 T-shares, sitting at 9,777,000 in the ownership pool. Let's have a look at the lock percentage of coins. 9.74% of all Hex is locked on Pulsechain. We've got 790,000 in penalties there. Not too bad either on the Pulsechain in terms of penalties. And we're at 65.3 million in the reward pool there for Hex. Looking at the growth numbers, we're up 47 liquid holders. We're flat on the miners. We're sitting at 124,649 miners, about 5,000 more miners on the Pulsechain than on the Ethereum side. So we've marched in. We're starting the first day, I guess, of the 5th year for Hex. Hooray! The first day of the 5th year. That's not bad. Number 5 is alive, as they say. Number 5 is alive. And of course, it's day 1462 and day 205 on Pulsechain. Not bad. Hex.com, of course, check it out. It is the place to be. It is the place to be. We're going to play out, of course, Richard's full stream from 4 years ago, which is I edited it out as a sort of a summary of a 7-hour live stream. So I've cut it down into, I don't know, what, 6-7 minutes or something, but definitely worth watching. It's got a few sections in it, so it's got different stuff in there as well. What else we got going there? Let's see how we going. See. What else there? Brian says bang bang Titan X. Brendan says Titan X over 1,000. Yeah, so that's a project on Ethereum. If you guys haven't checked it out, it sort of takes shares a bit of stuff around Hex, Pulsechain, and Zen. It's kind of a hybrid between those. What else there? Christian says, do not fear. T-shares are here. They are indeed. Buy Hex and burn it for T-shares and start getting some sweet X rewards. What else there? Let me just jump to that comment. Superman, was you going to do a video on how to use the new Pulsex exchange? I reckon so many people have absolutely no idea what to do, especially when we see those instructions on app.pulse. I was, Rod. But then, of course, I think Crypto Coffee's done one. I think, what's the, this, another person's done one. I just can't remember the name now. trying to remember the name. It was I think there's a couple of females in the community have done some, but I will definitely look at trying to do that proactively. I'll look at their videos and see whether I need to do one. So I'll keep that on the list there. J Pond, yeah boy, 5 years, number 5 is alive. Can we trade crypto in the trading sessions like in Forex? I don't have trading sessions. I don't do trading sessions. I've done in the past. I've done some famous ones when famous launched, but I'm not doing that on a regular basis. So yeah, we will be having a TA session coming up with Brennan. So that's probably as close as we'll get to doing trading sessions. We could do one. I mean, I'll think about it. We do like a small limited portfolio trading thing for fun. We might do that. It's a good idea. We'll keep it on the list. We've got a lot of things happening, so we'll do our best. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that today. Don't forget, of course, to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Join our Discord, man. We've got an awesome Discord. It is the place to be. If you want to share the bull market together and get all the alpha, we do it. We have it. And, of course, we've got the best community, so pretty awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun there. And so forth. Now, I'm going to have to, if you can ban Sam B, I'm going to have to ban. Sorry, Sam. You just took it too far, fortunately. I was very patient, as you know, during the whole thing. So I'm going to hide the user from the channel. There we go. Try not to do that. I like free speech, but when people are trolling like that, it's just not cool. Happy birthday, says Sandy Beach. That's a great way to finish the live stream. Thank you so much. All right, let's play out Richard Hart on the end. Hope you guys enjoyed. Get in the Discord. See you there. Strategy Club is open. It's not officially launched, but we're one strategy session away from launching it officially, and I'll be doing a cool video on that. Have a great day, all, says Brennan. Absolutely. All right, take care. Peace out. Happy birthday, everybody. 4th year of Hex, and number 5 years started. It's going to be pretty amazing. Take care. See you later. Bye for now.
Hello, everybody. I've waited a very long time for this day. It's finally come. I'm very happy. So let's talk about what happened. We've had the contract done, the code that makes Hex what it is, for a good long while. And we just wanted to make sure absolutely everything was right. So we got 2 independent audits from 2 different auditors. We got a mathematics audit. That's 3 audits. They're expensive and they're time consuming. And they do 2 things. They, 1, convince you that there's no bugs. And 2, they present that evidence to the audience in a format that they can understand. So if you look on hex.win right now, down under the security tab, you can see how to use hardware wallets with MetaMask, which is the wallet that we suggest for Hex. And you'll also see the mathematics audit and one of the security audits. Now, touch up needs to be done on this. They need to be super duper finalized and prettied up. We'll get there. Since the bug finding phase is over, no reason to delay. What else? So the contract was supposed to launch at 7 p.m. EST, and I think we're 5 hours late. I'm not even sure how many hours late. And what that's going to do is it's going to make this first day, the adoption amplifier, where people send Ethereum in and it gets transformed into Hex, it's going to make it a little shorter. It's not actually going to have any effect after this day. So, actually I could look at the wallet. I've got the wallet and browser here. Wrong computer, streaming computer. I don't have the wallet. I don't have the browser here. So if you go to hex.win right now, or if you want a 10% bonus, pumpamentals.com, you can click anyone's ref link. It's going to give you that same bonus. There's nothing special about pumpamentals.com. It's just the one that I talk about a lot. You could go to anybody else's. You'll still get the same 10% bonus. It works on the adoption amplifier where you transform ETH into Hex, and it also works on the free claim. Now, free claims will open. So here's the phase that we're in right now. The phase that we're in right now is there's a contract. It has all the game theory in it. It has all the logic in it. It has all the security in it. And for you to be able to talk to that contract, to be able to run that code, you either need to be really, really smart and go on something like etherscan.io and use their write contract feature, which allows you to interact with smart contracts manually, it's harder. Or you can do the easy way and go to go.hex.win. That's go.hex.win. I suggest you use https://. We like that security, the S. So if you want to run this code, so in Hex, you are the network. You mint your own coins, just like Bitcoin. If you're a Bitcoin miner, you brute force, find a hash of a nonce that has a number of, starting zeros in front of it. And that's the difficult problem that you solve. It's not actually difficult. It's just energy consumption. It's literally the dumbest math you could possibly do, but you're doing a lot of it. It's not actually a difficult problem. It's just an energy intensive problem. So Bitcoin miners mine their own rewards, and Hex stakers and people that use the adoption amplifier also mine their own rewards. When you open up MetaMask, you have to tell it where the contract address is of the software that you want to run, because you are the network. You are the only one that can mint your rewards. You're the only one that can stake your coins. You're the only one that can claim your coins. There are no coins unless I haven't even looked at the contract. I haven't even seen how many people are using it. We tested it and everything was perfect. And then I started prepping to talk to you guys. I'm seeing reports in chat that there's 560 Ethereum in there right now. Great. So how did people get 560 Ethereum into the adoption amplifier? Well, they went to go.hex.win, or they're really smart and use the manual way. And there's a tutorial, there's a guide on the front page of hex.win. It's the second video down. First video tells you why we're doing all this stuff, to replace the banks and do things Bitcoin can't do, even though it's great software, even though it's got, tons of really good things going for it. There's just some things it can't do, and it's never going to be able to do. So it only pays miners inflation. People think that Bitcoin's not proof of stake. It is proof of stake. It means you have stake and mining hardware and electric bills. So it's a different form of proof of stake. It's the kind of stake that kind of pollutes the environment a little bit. It's necessary. And so my point is, right now, those people that are sending Ethereum into the adoption amplifier, the reason they're doing that is because at the end of this day, they're going to get 1 billion hex. So if let's say there was 10,000 ETH in there, if you sent 1,000 ETH, you would get 10% of the 1 billion hex at the end of the day. So this is really interesting because really no one can get like a worse ratio than they deserve, because the other peers are setting it, right? So it's not like someone can get a better deal than you by getting it earlier than you. It doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, everyone's getting the same ratio. It's prorated. Like if you're a bigger dude, you put in more money, you're going to get more hex out. By the way, I'm usually a little bit better at the old streaming and talking stuff, but I haven't slept in a long time. So if you want to join the adoption amplifier, which is the only thing that's going on today. So yesterday we had the snapshot, went perfect. Everything went fine. Then we processed that snapshot today, and we took a top hash, which is also called a Merkle root, which is weird because they're opposites, right? So it's a Merkle root or a Merkle top hash. And what that does is it lets us very space efficiently store all of the data of all of the balances of the Bitcoin blockchain, the ones that are relevant to our project. We don't let multisig claim. So all those whales with multisig wallets, you guys watching, you don't have multisig whales. Whales do. Okay, you guys can't claim. Mt. Gox trustee, 138,000 Bitcoin, can only sell them legally, and no free coins for you, buddy. He's out. And once we did all the reductions and ran the math on the UTXO set before we top hashed it, I think there was only about 9.8 million Bitcoin or 9.86 million Bitcoin that could actually try to claim of the about 18 million total coins. So right off the bat, that as a staker, you're going to be given, like if you were the only staker in the system on day 353, you would get all of those coins, over half of the claim supply. But you'd actually end up getting more because those will get multiplied by up to 3-fold with the critical mass and virality bonuses. Math isn't exactly 3. So for instance, if a lot of really small addresses claim, then that pumps the reward more because, well, the math's hard to describe to you. So if I'm giving you unclaimed coins and then multiplying them by the percent that was claimed, it's they both end up going up, but like hard to explain math, right? So more claims moves the bonuses higher faster than larger claims does. Because while a larger claim is inflating its multiplier, it's also deflating what's being multiplied by, which is the unclaimed coins, right? So at least now, what other coins are going to be given out to all the people at the day 353? Satoshi's probably not going to claim. I think he's deceased. If he wants to come out and claim, he's totally allowed to. It's awesome. People are going to get a lot of late penalties. So if you don't claim your free coins, you start bleeding out 2% every week. And by week 50, you have nothing left. You can't claim anything. That prevents people like the Mt. Gox trustee from seeing a wonderful project, an innovative project with passionate, inspired, awesome people, of which so many people helped out tonight. We've got volunteers from all around the world. Everything that needs done, they help get done, right? They see that there's some spammers hitting up the chat room trying to scam people. Hey man, put me on as mod. And there's people I know, I trust them. All right, mod up, man. And then they go and kill the spammers, right? Beautiful. Great work. Thanks, Dan. We got 2 Dans. Thank you both, Dans. You did great work tonight. And then we've got Meme Squad making amazing memes. Now, because we've had so many, we've had, a couple thousand people join the chat room over the last week or 2, I think. I should publish the stats. The rate at which, I would go to sleep for 4 hours. I'd wake up and there'd be, 1,000 messages. So if I slept 8 hours, it would be about 2,000 messages. And then it went absolutely crazy today. You can't do these types of world-changing, impactful things without help from people. You just can't. And what I found is that people that are passionate about the project are just hyper efficient. They really, really care. We've got, all right, guys, it's been absolutely fabulous. I haven't heard anyone's voice, but I felt connected.